My name is Tim Rundle, and I'm a documentary filmmaker. But like most documentary filmmakers, I have to have a full-time gig to pay for my hobby of fancy storytelling. I'm a city manager, and I've managed 4 cities, 2 in Oklahoma and 2 right here in Northern California. Now, some of you are asking yourself, what exactly is a city manager? Well, don't feel too bad because most of my friends and family don't know what I do for a living either. You see, a mayor and a council hires a city manager to run the day-to-day operations and administrations of a city. So behind the scenes, I'm working with my staff to manage the fire department, the police department, all of our utilities, city planning, engineering, public works, the city clerk's office, the city attorney's office, and one of my most important responsibilities is also economic development. So in a nutshell, the city manager is at City Hall for you to yell at when you hit a pothole. For 3 years, I managed the city of Durant. Now, Durant, Oklahoma is right on the Texas border. Durant is a beautiful community. It's the magnolia capital of Oklahoma, home of the Choctaw Nation. It's located near beautiful Lake Texoma, and believe it or not, it's home to the world's largest peanut. Now, during my tenure as the city manager of Durant, we saw an explosive growth in industry, recreation, and tourism right in our area. We had business executives from all over the world that flew in and visited our community to potentially put in major manufacturing facilities with great paying jobs for our local workforce.
Well, a Spain-based manufacturing plant will call Durant its North American headquarters by the end of the year. News 12's Stan Smith tells us what kind of jobs are coming and how much money they pay.
I hate to say this, but when these executives visited our community, I was a little embarrassed by what I call the B-Cats, who are the Bryan County Alternative Transportation Society. Now that's the nickname for them because, quite frankly, my other nickname wasn't quite so nice. I asked a police chief once, why are these people allowed to drive their riding lawnmowers on our city streets as their main mode of transportation? His answer was pretty simple. In Durant and other communities throughout Oklahoma, riding mowers are classified as agricultural equipment. And in Oklahoma, you can drive agricultural equipment on city and county streets.
My suitcase is packed and I'm waiting.
Interesting enough, Bryan County is not the only place unique to this mode of alternative transportation. A feature film based on a true story was released in 1999 about a man who traveled across 2 states on his mower just to see his dying brother. A mural in Nashville was recently created to honor one of the most famous lawnmower outlaws of all time, country great George Jones.
Well, there are plenty of murals to take your picture in front of here in Nashville. And this one will certainly be one of the most popular because it features George Jones on a lawnmower. I imagine the top speed for that old mower was 5 miles per hour. It might have taken an hour and a half or more for me to get to the liquor store, but get there I did.
And a new sitcom shot in Oklahoma features a character who frequently, quote-unquote, borrows mowers from local hardware stores. In the summer of 2019, I left my job as the city manager in Durant. Shortly thereafter, I decided, you know what? I'm going to go out and find some B-Cats, interview them, and find out exactly who this cast of characters are in my community. This morning, I got contacted by Chevelle. She and I have been texting each other after meeting a couple days ago, and I was really excited that she wanted to be a part of this documentary. And then today, she started texting me real early this morning about needing to go see her doctor to go get her check. And in Oklahoma terms, that means she's got to go see her, get her annual physical so she can continue to get her SSI. Today is September 7th. I think the high today is going to be 102, and her doctor is in Ardmore, which is over an hour away. So I've agreed to take Chevelle, we barely have known each other for just a couple of days, to Ardmore, to her doctor, so she can continue to get her check.
I don't know, Blackie! I'm Blackie. I'm Blackie. Come I've got to go to a Social Security doctor to get. They said I'm not disabled no more, but I am. Or else they're gonna cut my check off. And I knew my lawnmower wouldn't drive that far. I've lived between Durant and Texas off and on all my life. And after I get this last fine paid off, I'm working on paying off. Time I made it move back to Texas. I've been here this time 25 years. It's too long. One sister I called this morning wouldn't even answer my calls to see if she could take me. So I'm just gonna move back to Texas.
You kind of grew up around the Durant area?
Yep.
And you said you had some kids?
Yep, I've had 4 kids, and all my kids live in Texas with my exes.
So what kind of work did you do?
I laid carpet. That's what messed my knees up. That's why I had to lay knee replacement, get a knee kicker. I've danced, bartended, worked in fast food restaurants, was a waitress, worked in grocery stores, restaurants.
So after you had your accident in 2002, was it much more difficult to work?
After that, I couldn't stand to be around a lot of people. I couldn't go back to work because of my nervous disorder. It messed up my nervous system really bad because I have a hard time sleeping at night since that wreck without having something to help me go to sleep.
So after talking to a few locals in Durant about where I could find some more bee cats, the overwhelming response was, "Have you been to Bennington?" So how did you guys meet?
In a beer joint. She was running from somebody, and I'm standing there. This guy was coming at her, doing her that way. She run behind the bar where I was standing because I was good friends with the bartender, and I was shooting pool with him. And she said, "You tell him you're my boyfriend."
Oh, when I ran into him, he followed me home. I told him, "You're going to have to leave." And I'd run him off the little lawn, and here he'd come back. It was just like an old shoe. You throw it out, and here it comes back. I'm still trying to run him off, and he won't go.
So sometimes we've been split up, and then we'll go right back together.
Oh, tell us a little bit about you. Like, what are things that you enjoy to do outside of this?
Fishing
Tell us about you.
Tell us about how you like, what kind of fishing you like to go do.
with the fishing pole, you throw it out there, catch bass, catfish. You know what? I want to catch me a freaking mermaid. I mean, if I bring it home, I'm going to put it in the bathtub, you know, let it do its thing until it gets legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds like you got it all planned out.
yeah.
Well, we just picked up Chevelle at the clinic here in Ardmore, and apparently there was some sort of miscommunication or something, and she got into a verbal altercation with the front desk clerk with the clinic, and is going to have to reschedule and possibly reschedule and go to Idabel.
Told me to reschedule, but I won't come back to this one because I don't like that woman that was asking me the same stupid question on my niece. Didn't that fix you? I told her, I said, I don't know.
So what did they do while you were there? Just ask you like just a questionnaire type deal?
Yeah. I didn't even get to see the doctor. And I told her, I said, I've got to go to the restroom. No, you need to leave and use it someplace else. I told her, if I lose my check because of your stupid butt, I will slap a lawsuit on your ass, bitch. We was on a 5-day bash starting on the 6th day of a wedding and a friend's birthday. And instead of him doing that, hit a pothole that big around. I couldn't hold on to him around him. He was so big, and when that back tire hit that pothole, I went all backwards. I didn't even know it.
Were you wearing a helmet?
He didn't have an extra helmet.
Yeah, this is what I use. Well, CSA's gas too. You know, that's good on gas, but this is better on gas. You know, if I don't want to drive that, but like I said, that's got to where it acts stupid sometimes. You know, so the lawnmower don't do that. It just go up there and come back. Now that truck there, you go up in it, next thing you know, we'll start giving it this.
See, I don't have no license. Sometimes that thing is not here, and these other two are broke down. So I have to have a way to store sometime.
So you say you don't have a license anymore. Tell us a little bit about how come you don't have a license anymore?
Too many. The last one I got, I was working on my mom's car here, and I had a Silverado pickup. So I went to Bochita, because the other stores was closed here, to pick me up another beer, and they had a roadblock set up right there at the 4-way. And I just never did bother to get my license back.
See these clouds? What do you see right there? What do you see? I see infinity. It's a creation of God. Sometimes you see stuff in detail that nobody else can see but me. Sometimes I look in the trees, I see visions in the trees nobody else can see but me, you know, stuff like that. You know, everybody thinks I'm crazy. I ain't crazy. I can see it, but they can't. You know what I want to do?
What?
I want to find me a Sasquatch, a female Sasquatch, and if I find it, I want to shave it off, the whole hair, to see what she actually looks like. You know, that'd be cool. Hell yeah. Go get your beer, your cigarettes, pick up a woman, I guess. I need another trailer. Put a trailer on here, give me a woman, and bring her back. Maybe I want to find one that has a good job though, so she can take care of me.
Well, back then, everything wasn't like it is now. You used to be able to get out and move around a little bit without the police bothering you. Nowadays, all they want to do is, what are you doing out here this late? I can't believe they got a curfew on these lawnmowers.
And that's the bad part. The cop just lived right there. He don't know nothing. You know, I had 2 batteries stolen out of this yard. He don't know nothing. He was supposed to come over here and have me make a report on it. He didn't bother to do that either, because he's not going to try to find nothing anyway.
I went walking to the store, and they said, "Oh, you're gonna get a PI." I said, "Well, you can't get a PI on this. I ain't got no license to drive it." So that's what I use this bitch walking on it. You can't ride it because you can't have a lawnmower because it got the headlights on it. I mean, you can, but you can't ride it after dark because that ding dong right there, it would stop me. I call him ding dong because he is.
Did you do that too?
Yeah, get him, man, because he'll stop you. If it's dark time, guess what? He'll stop you. Like, where am I going, where am I coming from? I said, man, ain't none of your business.
You talked about serving in the military. Tell us a little bit about your military career.
Oh, I served 3 years in the United States Army. I was a 19-kilo armor crewman. I drove a tank, M1A1, drilled A2s. Bill Clinton was president at the time, and so I didn't really get to see no action. I had a lot of fun. You know, I went overseas. I spent some time over in South Korea. Spent quite a bit of time over there. Said Bill Clinton was president, so I got to have a lot of fun. Well, I got out of the military in 2001, and I was a truck driver for right around 11 years. And of course, I lost my driver's license. Wasn't able to really get a job too far away because I couldn't drive without, you know. So I just figured I'd start doing this right here at home. And here I am, 4 years later, 5 years later, somewhere along there. You know, their mowers and their, all their equipment, you know, they're going from one job to the next, come through here all day long. And I think, you know, yeah, it makes me put a smile on my face. I like helping people like that especially, because I know what it's like. I do. I'm not never gonna be a rich man. I don't intend on being. I just, you know, if I can pay my bills and put bread and milk on the table for the kids, man, that's you know, I'm happy with it. I'm easy. And if I can help somebody else, you know, come up and financially, if it helps them financially in a better way, then I'm all about it. I'll help them out. You know, I try to be reasonable with people. I usually charge about $20 an hour, just on average. And if it's somebody I know that don't, you know, if they're limited, really limited on financially limited, I usually cut them, you know, a little bit better break. But some of them, yeah, a lot of people around here just have them just for transportation. Some of these people, they don't get around real good, and you know, if that's all they got, then that's, you know, that's, hell, I keep a lot of them going, you know, I keep running for them, and if it's something little, you know, I'll fix their stuff for them, and I don't even charge them if their job, if it ain't nothing major, you know, no kind of rebuild or anything like that. And I don't know, I think it's okay myself. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Do a lot of bartering, because you know, in this community, most people don't have, you know, they don't have a whole lot of money, you know, they're financially stuck, you know, and it's like they may have something that I need, you know, it may not even be a mower, it may be a chainsaw, tiller, or it may be a car. I work on cars too, you know. I mean, they may need something done to the car, and they got some, you know, they want to get your yard cleaned up, and they tell me, I'll give you all this if you help me get this going, and I do a lot of that.
So at the end of the day, while we were shooting some B-roll of Terry driving his lawnmower there in Bennington, he got pulled over by the Bennington police chief.
That was awesome. Oh, God, here comes the cop. Pull over. Pull over.
So in a very short span, probably within an hour, Terry, Geraldine, and Tomcat all got a visit from the Bennington police chief. Now, I'm not anti-police at all. I'm very supportive of what they do. And quite frankly, I've always thought it was a little bit of a safety concern to have riding lawnmowers on the same streets with cars whizzing at 30, 40, 50 miles an hour. And I'm always afraid of everybody's safety when that happens. But what it all boils down to is these folks need public transit. They need public transportation to get back and forth to the grocery store, back and forth to their doctors, even some cases back and forth for their chemo treatments. And we've got to do a better job. So after spending some time with the B-Cats, I decided to do a little bit of research, and I found something quite troubling. Oklahoma ranks 43rd in the nation in public transit and public transportation, and it shows. We have folks risking their lives just to go to the grocery store on a riding lawnmower, and quite frankly, that's not that funny. So I decided to seek out and find a couple of success stories in Oklahoma, and I talked to a few directors of small transit systems that serve communities just like Durant and Bennington.
Cowboys Area Transit System is a part of Cowboys Community Action, and we serve 12 counties, almost 10,000 square miles of public transportation. We've been in business operating for about 38 years. I've been with the organization for about 35. We have about 230 vehicles that we are running in all the counties, doing a little bit of everything. There is so many people that just can't afford a vehicle, and they need to go to work, or they need, you know, so transportation is very, very much needed, especially in rural areas. But if you're stuck at home and you're by your house, you're shut in, you know, a lot of people they give up. They just give up. Just like so many people that I know that just give up because it's just too hard. So public transportation, I feel very strongly on how it can change your life.
So we provide transit services and have been providing transit service since 1968 in the northeast corner of Oklahoma. We cover 7 counties, 4,466 square miles, and we provide transit service for the Northeast Tribal Transit Consortium, which is the 9 tribes of Ottawa County, and we are also a contract provider for the Cherokee Nation. The majority of our trips go to non-emergency medical. I would say that medical trips, we provide a number of medical trips to individuals. We do a lot of employment transportation and education transportation. We also do shopping and nutrition, and then of course the normal social engagement that people choose to participate in. So we give trips all the way across the board. I love that you're just looking at this from the aspect of that everyone needs it, okay? Public transit is very vital to healthcare. Like you said, they go hand in hand. If you're eating from a convenience store because you have to take your tractor to get public transit, to get to where you need to go, then these are problems. I really hope to see that people will continue to be bold in their pursuits of public transit and realize that these things don't all need to start in urban transit systems. They can begin right here in rural transit and build out. We can start with the guy on the lawnmower and take care of him and spread it out this way. So
the next time you see someone using one of these alternative forms of transportation, like a skateboard or a bicycle or even a riding lawnmower, think about this. Do you really think they wanted to use a lawnmower as their main mode of transportation? Or is it something they're doing to just get by? These folks are our brothers, our sisters, our fathers, our mothers, our grandparents, our aunts, our uncles, and they need to get to the grocery store and the doctor's office just like you and I. So instead of judging them, why don't you do something like Stephen and pick up a wrench? Or better yet, offer them a ride to the doctor's office. Because I think once you do, you'll see a whole different side of them, but more importantly, you'll see a whole different side of yourself.
With no direction. In a couple years, and a little more gray, we'll stop dreaming about each other. It's no one's fault, we'll find a way to get senseless for one another. Yeah, we'll get senseless for each other. Where do you go when the lights are turning off? Where do you go when your hopes are falling from the windows? Where do you go when it feels like there'll never be enough?